Namaskar. Welcome to the lesson number 18 for the event Progeny Prospects. In this lesson, we are going to study a female chart in whose destiny the fifth cuspal sublord and Jupiter are strongly signifying the unfavorable houses along with that favorable 2, 5, 11 houses. It indicates a mixed significator. But that fifth cuspal sublord destiny planet is not getting the support of the other favorable strong key planets. Mixed key planet is okay, it is indicating mixed. But that planet, if it is getting the strong support of the strong other favorable key planet, it indicates that destiny can be supportive by way of treatment, right? But if it is not having such strong, favorable key planets, but only unfavorable significators are present, yes, we can say that, okay, it is not supportive for the pregnancy. Even in the absence of pregnancy, along with that, if it is having favorable 2, 5, 11 also playing, with the absence of the strong favorable key planets, it will not favor for the pregnancy on its own because of the unfavorable 4th house, 6th house, 10th house, 12th house are causing miscarriage and problem in the conception, but it can favor for the adopting a child because second house is talking about joining a family member is adding in the family. Fifth house connecting to the second house through the fifth house, that is what do you call that, child progeny is getting supported by way of second house. But along with that, eighth house is present, fourth house is present, importantly 4, 6, 10, 12 are present, then it is not supportive on its own. It is not supportive for the conception, but it is supportive for a progeny, not a progeny, supportive for a child in their house. So that way it is possible for them to adopt a child. All the people cannot adopt a child. Even adopting a child also, it needs some sort of some sort of favorable signification in their destiny, because destiny should support for weak signification and also second house, fifth house, 11th house. It should also be, signified. Not strongly, but it will be signified by the destiny planet and also Jupiter. So that we know that native is not successful in the pregnancy because of the miscarriage, misconception. So because sixth house is talking about health issues to the Lagna and second house to the fifth house. It means Maraga house to the fifth house. And 12th house is strongly indicating it is talking about fifth house connected to 12th house, eighth house to the fifth house. So a lot of obstacles are there getting the normal pregnancy. So in that case, if the strong favorable key planets are supporting to that planet, so that can be favorable or by way of the medical treatment, which we also we discussed in few charts. But when that is also not supportively present and dasa also not supportively present, but it will support for the adopting a child. So we will see such case in this example. Example 18, weak progeny in destiny, adoption of child. We will study the female chart and the destiny and also the dasa period signification, and can find how that destiny is weak and how it is also supportive for adopting a child. This is the birth chart of that female. Now let us study the birth chart, and with the help of that significators we can also study. Just a minute. Cell significators I am keeping here, and North Indian chart also I have kept. Let us see how the planets are getting influenced or afflicted by the other planets. What are the planets which are having unfavorable significators? Let us check. Ketu is sixth star lord and representing Venus 12. So it is having some weakness but not detrimental because having favorable houses. Venus fifth lord, second occupant, third star lord and 12th sublord. So moving towards 12. 5, 2, 3, 12 representing Ketu. Ketu is, you can see Ketu present in the sign of Venus. That Ketu is conjoined with the Mars. Mars, you can see 11th Lord occupying 11th house, 4, 8, 12 cuspal star Lord and representing Rahu, 5th occupant, 4, 10, 11 cuspal sublord. Rahu is occupying the 5th house as per degree. Lagna is falling in the Cancer sign. And you can see there are cuspal interception. You can see Lagna and second cusp both are falling in the Cancer sign. Third cusp and fourth cusp are following in Leo and Virgo respectively. And fifth cusp is falling in the fourth sign from the Lagna. And 29 degree 22 seconds minutes in the Libra. Now Rahu occupying the Scorpio sign and aspected by the Mars, and you can see Rahu also indirectly conjoined with the Jupiter. Now Rahu is occupant of the 5th house, but you can see Rahu's signification is 5th occupant and 4, 10, 11 cuspal sublord. Just a minute. The Rahu occupant of the 5th house is also signifying 4, 10, 11. 4, 11 is fine, but 4, 10 is not good. And Rahu is aspected by Mars, already conjoined with Ketu. Mars is 4, 8, 12 cuspal star lord. So Mars and Rahu occupying the sign of Mars itself, Mars also aspecting to Rahu. So 4, 8, 12, 4, 10, 11. So this grouping is bad. 11 and 11 is good, but for this Lagna, Chara Lagna, 11th house is also Badhaga Lord. So that is also adding fuel to that unfavorable. So Mars, Ketu conjoined, and also Mars is aspecting to Rahu, is occupying the sign of Mars. That Rahu is indirectly influencing Jupiter by way of the indirect conjunction. So that way we can see the unfavorable planets which are all connected to each other. Moreover, Mars also aspecting to the Venus. Who is Venus? Venus is 5th Lord. 5th Lord Venus is posted in the 2nd house is good. 5th Lord Venus is occupying 2nd house is good, and 3rd star Lord, that is also fine. But Venus is 12th cuspal sublord. So it is indicating weakness because 5 moving towards 12th house is 8th house to the 5th house. 8th house to the 5th house is 12th house. So that is indicating some obstacles to the 5th house is indicated. That is further supported by the Mars by aspect, which is 4, 8, 12 star lord, and indirectly Rahu is connecting 4, 10. So 5th lord Venus is influenced by the Mars and Rahu by way of aspect, and moreover Mars is occupying the sign of Venus itself. So Venus is strongly influenced by the Mars, Ketu and Rahu. So they are all unfavorable significator of 6, 12, 4, 8, 12 and 4, 10. So grouping is important. You can see the planets which are having the unfavorable grouping, they are also having some favorable. It is also supporting for some favorable signification. Along with that unfavorable, we have to see that. So now 5th cuspal lord is under the influence of the Mars and Venus, and also Jupiter also aspecting to Venus by 5th aspect. Jupiter is 6th lord. Second house to the fifth house is Maraga to the fifth house and occupying the 10th house. So 6th, 10th Lord and also 10th occupant. This is not good for the fifth house. Moving towards 5, 9, it is fine. And the second and 8. Second is okay, but 8 is not good. Second is good for the family, but 8 is indicating obstacles. So they're all having mixed significations. So now you can see many planets are conjunct. Saturn, Moon, Sun, Mercury are in the sign of Moon itself. Now let us check the destiny. Fifth lord, let us check. Fifth sublord, let us check. And Jupiter also, let us check. Now we already checked fifth lord is influenced by the planet. Jupiter also influenced by the Rahu. And fifth cuspal sublord, we have to check. Fifth sublord is Sun. We will check now by the extended significations. Now, let me scroll down to see the fifth lord and fifth cuspal sublord and Jupiter. Yes. Fifth lord is Venus. Let me keep open that birth chart also. Yeah. Fifth lord Venus. Venus is posted here. Venus is aspected by Jupiter. Indirectly, Rahu's significations also passed because Jupiter in the sign of Mars. And Rahu and indirectly conjoined. Venus 5, 2, 2, 3 is fine. 12 sublord. Okay, one level is fine, but star level again Venus. 2 level also Venus. 5, 2, 3. 5, 2, 3 all favorable or present, but all having in the sublord for the 12th house. So Venus is posted in the sign of Sun. So Sun planet is 3, 1, 7, 11 is fine, and also 5th cuspal sublord, that is also fine, but it is 6th cuspal sublord. So Venus is getting the support of the Sun also, but Sun is also a mixed significator because of the 5 and 6th cuspal sublord, though it is not detrimental. But 5 and 6 is talking about second house to the fifth house, Marga to the fifth house. When 12, it is support of this 6, then it is adding unfavorable because 12 is 8th house to the fifth house and 6th house is second house to the fifth house. Now, this is not completely unfavorable. Now, Jupiter is also aspecting to that. What Jupiter is signifying? 6th lord, 10th lord, 10th occupant, 5, 9, 2, 8. It is also giving some mixed significations to the Venus. Venus is posted in the sign of Leo. That is also that planet Venus, that sign also a barren sign, right? Now, check the sublord. Sublord is Rahu. Rahu planet is 5th occupant, 4, 10. Sublord and 11 is fine, but 4, 10 supported by the 4, 8, 12. So occupant of the 5th house is indicating obstacles. But that Rahu in the star of Saturn, Saturn is having favorable significance. This is the one which is supporting to the Rahu, which is unfavorable, but it is getting support from the star lord of the sublord. But unfortunately, that Saturn favorable key planet, which are the favorable key planet? This is mixed. This is mixed. And Moon is fine. And Mars is weak. Mars is weak. Rahu is weak. Jupiter is mixed. And Saturn is the favorable key planet when compared to others. Mercury also 4 and 12, 1, 2. So this is also mixed. So all planets are mixed planet. And Sun has got mixed with the 5 and 6. Sun is better and Saturn is better. If you see that Sun and Saturn are all conjoined and Venus is in the sign of Sun itself, that is fine. But Venus is having 12th house and Sun is having 6th house. It is indicating some weakness. And that Venus is getting the influence of the Jupiter also. But unfortunately, that Venus is not getting the support of the Saturn. Saturn is not getting connecting to the Venus because Venus, Saturn is there, the last level. Venus continuous level it is playing, but it is not getting the impact of the Venus directly. The impact of the Saturn directly, but indirectly it is getting the support. How? Saturn is aspecting to Jupiter. by 10th aspect, that Jupiter is aspecting to Venus. So only that way, only Venus is getting the support of the Saturn, but in the same time, it is getting the impact of the Mars also. Jupiter is aspecting from the sign of Mars, getting the support of Rahu, and Mars also it is passing to Venus. Venus already aspected by Mars. So unfavorable key planet influence is more on Venus than the strong favorable key planet. Only one strong favorable key planet is Saturn. The next one is only a moon and also some extent sun. So other planets are all having mixed significator only. Rulers of the fifth house all are having mixed one. It is indicating weakness. So now what we have to do, we have to check the fifth cuspal sublord. Fifth cuspal sublord is sun. You check fifth sublord sun. Sun is okay in the star of Mercury, 412 1 to 210. Mercury in the star own star. This is not good. Sixth sublord and Mercury to star lord, and star lord of the star lord also Mercury. This is not favoring. Where is Mercury posted? Mercury conjoined with the sun is fine. Conjoined with the moon also fine. But it is under the influence of Saturn. That is also fine. But Mercury is conjoined with the sun and the moon. You can see that Mercury, moon is having 1 to 1 is fine. Sun is having 3, 1, 7, 11, 5 and 6. Some weakness also there, but not detrimental. But Mercury is getting the ruler link from the sun. So that is having what happened? Fifth cuspal sublord planet under the influence of the Mercury also conjoined with that. So ruler link from the star lord and star lord of the star lord are passed on to the sun, vice versa. But unfavorable. Fifth cuspal sublord in the star of this planet is strongly unfavorable. Sublord is Venus. That Venus is 5 to 312 and same thing is coming, and Venus is also in the sign of sun. So that is also forming ruler link. So all are getting a ruler link, supportive for some favorable houses, and along with that 6, 4, 12, 10, 12, 12 are coming. It is indicating weakness. Definitely it is indicating weakness. Now, because there is no role of Saturn. If Saturn is playing one of the level, then definitely Saturn would have supported because of the strong favorable signification. But Saturn is not playing role. Now, Saturn is playing role for Mercury in conjunction, only in conjunction, but not it is there in the ruler. If it is there in the ruler, then it will form the ruler link. The impact will be higher. Now, fifth sublord in the star of a planet, fourth lord, 12th lord occupying Lagna, second cusp occupant close to second cusp, 2, 10, it is not good. 10, 4, 12, 10, it is not good. It is not strong. At least star lord of the star lord Mercury, instead of Mercury, it is some other favorable key planet. It would have been better. Now let us check the sublord of the sun, because sun in the star and star of Mercury, Venus all repeated. Let us check what is the sublord. Sublord planet, if it is Saturn, it's well and good. Sun in the sub of Rahu. That is the problem. Rahu is the unfavorable key planet, right? So the sublord planet is Rahu. Sublord is Rahu. Rahu is signifying occupant of the fifth house, bad 4, 10. And also then Rahu represents 4, 8, 12. Supporting with the 11th house, 5 and 11 are supportive, but 4 and 10 are not supportive. So 4 and 10 are coming. Here this 12, 12, all indicating some weakness. Sublord is not favoring. So that way what happens? That destiny is indicating weakness. Importantly, the Mercury, these significations, and also this one, and the Rahu also getting the unfavorable signification at the last level. Now that Venus is, Rahu represents Mars, right? Rahu in the sign of Mars. That Mars is aspecting the Venus. Now, that Rahu is passing ruler link to the Venus. So that is the one. So the sublord is getting weakness at the sublord level, and also, subsublord also. So that way, that weakness is strongly indicated, but favorable 5, 2 are all indicating. Now, That fifth sublord is sixth house, and 4, 12, 2, 2, 10. They are all supportive for miscarriage also. Why? Because that 6 is talking about the second house to the fifth house, and 12th house is not good, and also 10th house also not good. Unfavorable grouping are present. So that Mars, Venus represent Ketu. That Ketu in the Venus sign only Mars is present. Ketu, Venus, and Mars connection, they will support for the miscarriage. So all these connection, affliction is strongly present, right? So now Mars is passing rural link, and because Venus Ketu represents Mars, and Rahu also sub-sublord, so that influence of the unfavorable strongly present. The strong favorable key planet Saturn's influence is not there in the ruler, only in supports. Because of that, unfavorable signification strength is strongly present. So this indicates that that destiny is not strongly present. It is indicating some supportive, that lady also conceived 1 or 2 times, but also miscarriage happened. But it is because these houses will not support for the successful conception. It will miscarriage will happen because it will not support for the retention of the conception. So that is the issue with the fifth cuspal sublord. Moreover, if you see fifth lord also we discuss, and sublord is weak strongly, right? Fifth lord, already fifth lord is weak. Fifth sublord is also strongly weak. Same Rahu is coming at the sub-sublord, and Mars is also influencing that Venus, and the fifth lord is strongly afflicted. That afflicted Venus itself is ruling the sub-sublord. So that way, that native could not succeed in the pregnancy. The native got married in Ketu Dasa, but Ketu Dasa is having got key planet Saturn, and Star Lord Sun is having 5 and 6. So mixed significator are present, but Star Lord of the Star Lord is Mercury. This is not good, but somehow Saturn is supportive. But since destiny is not under the influence, so at least here Saturn is present, but that Saturn is also not passing ruling directly. 3 levels are weak. Sublord is bad. So that only last level has got that Saturn. Here, Saturn role is not at all there. Even sublord is Rahu. So because of the weak signification, weak support of the favorable key planet, destiny is weak. So when fifth cuspal sublord is signifying, you can see 7th, 11th house, second house, fifth house, 5, 2, 3, all are favorable present. Along with that, 6, 4, 12, 10, 12, 12 are coming. It is indicating obstacles. So it is not supporting for the conception. So that is what happening. Then after Ketu, Venus Dasa. Venus Dasa is talking about fifth house. So the native will have the inclination of getting a child during the Venus Dasa. So Venus was strongly indicating such a trial and all, but you can see sublords are unfavorable or strongly influencing. That we already had a detailed discussion, because Mars is aspecting to Venus, and Mars is in the sign of Venus itself, and Rahu also passing ruling, so it's completely unfavorable. But sub-level star lord of the sublord Saturn is having, that is giving some sort of support. Now, what happened during that Venus Dasa? That native Venus Dasa, Venus Bugdi itself, she had miscarriage, and they finally decided to go for adoption. So the adoption happened during which period? So the period which is having the Saturn, definitely the role of Saturn is important. So that because Saturn is the only key planet support for the favorable significations, and Jupiter role, because Jupiter also having 5 and 2. You can see we have not studied Jupiter. Jupiter is having mixed signification. Star level Ketu, abortic planet, and 612 again Venus. All are having weakness. Let me come to that Dasa period. In Venus Dasa, during the Saturn Bugdi, Venus itself will not favor. In the Saturn Bugdi, because Saturn is the planet. Let me close this one. Saturn is the planet in the star level. You can see Saturn is the planet, is good key planet, and Jupiter it is aspecting to Jupiter also. If you see that Saturn is aspecting to Jupiter by 10th aspect, that is having favorable 5, 9, 2, along with that unfavorable. And sublord is Rahu also 5 and 11, but 4 and 10. 4 and 10 is not supportive for the conception, but 5 and 11 is talking about some, progeny. But second house is supportive for adding a family member. So that Saturn is the key planet in the Venus, right? Dasa. And Venus is itself is playing role strongly to, 5-2, but strong favorable key planet which is supporting to the Venus is Saturn. That Saturn is there here, and Saturn is there at the last level also. Saturn is aspecting to Jupiter, and Saturn is aspecting to Jupiter by 10th aspect. That Jupiter is indirectly connecting to the Rahu also. That way, indirectly, that Rahu also getting the support. And but because of this unfavorable, it is not supportive. Rahu also in the star of Saturn. So during that Venus Dasa, Saturn Buddhi and Saturn Antra, the native adopted a male child. I'll tell the date, in which date they got the adoption. 28 November 2017. Just a minute. 28 November 2017 adopted a male child. Let us check that period. It should be Venus, Saturn only. Let us check. Venus, Saturn, 28. What date I said? 11. No. I think I made a mistake in the date. 17, nah? Yes, 17. So 28/11. It means what? 80 up to 1811, it was Jupiter Buddhi. After that, Saturn Buddhi, Saturn Antra only running. Saturn Buddhi, Saturn Antra only 28/11. So Saturn only, that they adopted a child because Saturn was supportive and supportive to the Jupiter 5 and 2, 5 and 11. So it is supportive for a family member to add their family child, but it is not supportive for their own child because fifth cuspal sublord is not favoring 4, 12, 10, all unfavorable. Here Jupiter also talking about 6, 10 and 8 and 6 and 12, 4 and 10 not supportive, but it is supporting for adding a family member by second house, 11th house, fifth house, along with that 4 and 10. So it is not it is not of their own child. So that way it is indicating that native destiny is mixed significator. Even if it is a mixed significator, the destiny planet, if it is under the influence of the favorable key planets also present by one of the ruler and also in support, along with that unfavorable, if it is present even in the ruler, it can favor for treatment, or in the favorable period when it is running, it can support for the IVF also. We had discussed such cases. But we can see only 1 or 2 planets only favorable, especially Saturn only having got such a supportive signification. But destiny is not supportive. It is having mixed signification, but not under the influence of the favorable key planet Saturn. So Jupiter also the same way. So when the destiny planet, the Jupiter, are not under the influence of the favorable key planet, but under the influence of the strong unfavorable key planet, not a strong unfavorable alone, it's a mixed key planet. It is not supportive for the successful conception. It is causing miscarriage and hurdles, obstacles in the conception, all are happening. When that period is the Dasalad is Venus started, it is completely having unfavorable signification along with that favorable, wherein that good key planet Saturn was playing. It is supported for them to adopt a child during the Saturn Buddhi itself. I think you are able to understand. So please kindly go through the video again and check the rules, whatever I was telling. That will be more useful. So we'll meet in the next video. Good luck.